K-pop Demon Hunters totally inspired me. While I was watching the movie, it hit me. I have this girl group OC called Girls in a Van. Yeah, the name is kind of on the nose. They're literally girls who travel in a van. But hey, it's stuck. I actually created Girls in a Van because one of my OC is a huge K-pop fan, and instead of picking a real K-pop group as her favorite, I thought, why not make my own? So boom, a fictional K-pop group was born. But here's the thing, for the longest time, Girls in the Van was just a name. I don't even remember if I ever really designed them properly. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't remember. If I find the original design, I will flash them on screen. Anyway, I think it's finally time for me to bring these girls to life. Let's give Girls in the Van a whole new look, and most importantly, a story of their own. So Girls in the Van isn't exactly a K-pop group. They're more like a global girl group, kind of like Cat's Eye. Each member represents a different continent, which gives them this cool international vibes. The reason I made this video is because I wanted to finally give these girls a real storyline, something beyond just music. I was super inspired by K-pop demon hunters, like their popstars and also demon hunters. So iconic. For Girls in the Van, I flipped the idea. In my version, they're not real popstars, they're pretending to be. These four girls, Cerise, Elise, Gabriella, and Jada, get recruited by a secret spy agency to go undercover as a girl group. Why, you may ask? To solve the mystery behind a string of missing producers and pop stars in the city. That's the core plot for Girls in the Van. While I design each character later on in the video, I'll be telling you a bit more about them and their personalities. For their outfits, I kept it pretty simple but gave each of them their own unique styles. I was going to design their performance look, but I kinda got lazy, so yeah, I'm sorry about that. But if you guys want to see their stage outfits, let me know in the comments and I'll drop a part 2, hopefully. Here is the rough sketch of the girls, and now it's time to turn them into finished pieces. So yeah, hit the like button and subscribe because it really helps. Let's start with Cerise. She's a passionate 17 years old girl who spent most of her life training in Korea to become a K-pop idol. She started when she was just 12, and when debut season came around, she didn't get picked. To make things worse, her family moved from Korea to America because her dad got a huge job opportunity. She had no choice but to leave her dream and everything she knew behind. Still, Cerise stayed optimistic. She told herself, okay, new country, new start. I'll become a solo artist instead. And guess what? She actually landed a record label deal not so long after she arrived in the US. But here's the plot twist. On the very day she was supposed to sign the contract, the label owner mysteriously disappeared, gone, without a trace. And without him, the label collapsed. Cerise's dream crumbled again, and she gave up on becoming a pop star, at least for a while. For Cerise's personality, I imagine someone kind of like Chloe from Miraculous Ladybug, a spoiled rich girl with a mean streak. She's selfish, controlling, and super determined. But over time she grows, she slowly becomes more caring, learns how to be a better teammate. Her character arc is definitely one of my favorites, the one that the actual Chloe didn't get from Miraculous. If you know, you know. Also, fun fact, I drew Cerise like 4 times. She was the first girl I designed out of the 4, and I kept changing the art style because I couldn't decide on the final look, but eventually I landed on this version and I'm pretty happy with it. Now let's talk about Elise. She's basically the Pinkie Pie of the group. Super bubbly, chaotic in the best way, and actually full of energy. But don't let the cuteness fool you. If you mess with a friend, she'll call you out no hesitation. Elise is originally from France. Her parents own a big fashion empire and they expected her to take over the business once she turned 18. Just 2 years away, but Elise had other dreams. She didn't want to live someone else's life. What she really wanted was to be an artist. Unfortunately, her parents didn't support that dream at all. So classic Elise, she ran away to America. With no plans, no backup, just a sketchbook and a passion for arts. So here's something interesting. Elise isn't really a singer. Out of the four girls, Cerise is actually the one with formal vocal training. She ends up being the one who trains the group, coaching the other girls and helping them act like a real girl group while they're undercover. Now onto Gabriella, aka the goth queen of the group. For her design, I went for this full-on gothic aesthetic. Dark clothes, sharp eyeliner, total don't talk to me energy. Gabriella is 18 and unlike the others, she doesn't want to be here. She's only part of the group because she literally has no choice. Gabriella is originally from Colombia and she has had a rough life. She moved to the city alone and used to work at a boba tea shop, a job she really loved. It gave her structure and a reason to get up in the morning, but she ended up getting fired because her gothic look was scaring the kids. That job was one thing that made her feel like she had a purpose, and losing it crushed her. She doesn't have a family, just her boyfriend who actually loves her deeply. But Gabriella can't really see that. She's the type of person that really pushes people away, convinced no one truly cares. Her personality is really nonchalant, cold, whatever on the outside, but deep down she's just a girl who needs a huge hug. The journey is all about learning to accept love, open up and realize she's not as alone as she thinks. That's all for Gabriella. Now, last but not least, let's talk about Jada. Jada is an aspiring writer and poet, but lately she has been stuck in a creative rut, total writer's block. She wants nothing more but to be a great author like her father, but now she's starting to doubt herself. She really feels like she lost her creativity and with it, her sense of purpose. Jada is an African American, her dad is from Nigeria, and her mom, who was an American, passed away when Jada was younger. Her mother was actually a well-known singer, and on the night of her last performance, she wore a tie, and that same tie is now part of Jada's outfit. She wears it every day to feel closer to her mother, almost like it's a piece of her she keeps alive. Jada also has heterochromia, just like her mother. One eye a different color than the other. Out of the group, Jada is the quiet one. She's thoughtful, observant, and often lost in her own head. And that's the last member of the team. Let me know in the comments which girl is your favorite and which one relates to you the most. I was also thinking about designing their van for this video, since they're literally called girls in a van, but I'll save that for another video. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.